This next story is a true story of an Algerian man who fell in love with a beautiful Thai woman. This story is chock full of adventure, love, and surprises. This next story should be used as an example of what a successful relationship in Thailand could look like. Here it goes. My name is Nuradin. I'm an Arab from Algeria, a country in North Africa. My culture and the way I grew up really shaped and molded my view on the world and who I thought I'd end up with in terms of marriage. I never in a million years thought from where I came up and grew up in the Algerian Sahara, I would end up in Southeast Asia married to a Thai woman. I'm 28 years old, and for the first 22 years of my life, I grew up in eastern Algeria. I belong to one of the most prominent Arabian tribes in Algeria, named Sha'aniba from Banu Sulaim. And since I could remember, my family ingrained in me that I would marry a woman from my tribe. But I always imagined myself studying in Europe, and when I reached 22 years of age, I was able to go and study in Europe for 4 years. I remember feeling so excited to leave Algeria and meet people from around the world. I knew basic French, but didn't speak it as much since it's more widely spoken in the capital city, Algiers. I was only proficient in Arabic and English, since learning it was really important to study abroad. When I first arrived at university, I gravitated towards other Arab students, since we shared a common origin, language, and culture. I met fellow Arabs from the Maghreb, Morocco, and Tunisia, and Arabs from Iraq, Libya, Egypt, Yemen, and Saudi Arabia. We formed a tight-knit group, often going out to eat together and going to social events. But I wanted to get out of my comfort zone and meet people of different cultures, and coincidentally, I met a Thai brother when I was praying at a nearby mosque one day. He introduced himself as Ibrahim and spoke to me in what we call Fusha Arabic. I was shocked to see an Asian speaking Arabic, but that was solely due to my lack of knowledge about there being Muslims in Thailand. I didn't know much about his culture, except for the fact that Thailand was a predominantly Buddhist country located in Asia. Ibrahim introduced me to Thai cuisine and culture, and I fell in love with it. Everything was so alien to me, but it was fascinating. I remember thinking the Thai language looked like hieroglyphs when seeing it for the first time. Ibrahim and I became good friends during our time studying in Europe. He even taught me basic Thai, but when we both graduated, we returned to our respective countries. When I left Europe, I was a new man. I was now an engineer, and I could speak a few languages, being that I made friends from many countries. I learned Spanish, I improved my French, and I learned Thai. Ibrahim and I kept in contact the entire time I was in Algeria. I was actively looking for work when one day Ibrahim told me about an engineering position in a company he worked for in Thailand. I was ecstatic, and I told him I was interested, and got an offer the following month. Once I bid farewell to my parents and family at the airport, a rush of happiness came over me. I was so excited for this new chapter in my life. Once I landed in Bangkok, I was greeted by Ibrahim, my Thai university friend. We then went to get some hot pot, and I tried the dessert Thai roti for the first time. After spending the weekend seeing all the different sites and tourist attractions, it was now time to work, and the following Monday was my first day. Ibrahim introduced me to the other engineers in the company, and one in particular stood out to me. MashaAllah, she was smart and beautiful. Her name was Aisha, and she was a Thai Muslim from the southern part of Thailand. Aisha and I got along right away. Her English was almost native, and Aisha had a beautiful, kind, and loving attitude towards people. That was what truly caught my attention. And we were assigned to work together on the same projects. After a few months of working in the company, Ibrahim and a few other colleagues on the team mentioned to me that Aisha was in love with me, and it was obvious in the way that she looked at me and how she spoke about me to others when I wasn't around. But when we worked in person, I just didn't see it. One day after work, Aisha invited me to eat at an Arabic restaurant, and once we began eating, she told me she began learning Arabic and wanted to learn more about my country and culture. She surprised me with a few Arabic phrases, and I was blown away. It then dawned on me that, hey, she really does like me. So in that moment, I made the decision to tell her how I truly felt about her. And I told her, it's okay if you don't feel the same way. Aisha then told me that she liked me from the first moment she laid eyes on me, but she didn't want to ruin our professional relationship, so she held back. Although Aisha and I are of the same religion, culturally, we're worlds apart. The fact that we were both interested in each other's culture reaffirmed to me that we could make it work. I knew she was the woman for me, and that night I called Khadija, my sister in Algeria, to tell her and to see what her opinion was on the matter. She asked me if she was Muslim, and I replied yes. She then asked me if she was on her deen and a pious woman. I replied yes. So she said there's no issue, and that our parents would have to deal with it and forget about their tribalism, since they were adamant about me marrying an Arab girl. To my surprise, the next day when I had a video call with them, I told my parents about my intentions of marrying Aisha. They asked me the same questions as my sister and told me they trusted me and that if I thought she was the one, that they would accept it. With the blessing of my father and mother, I then told Aisha I wanted to marry her, but first needed to ask her father in person. I then traveled to her hometown in the southern part of Thailand and met with him. Her family received me with open arms and were just as kind and hospitable as she was. Her father surprisingly knew a lot about my country and the Arab countries of North Africa, and he complimented me on the way I went about all this and said he would be happy to have me be part of his family. At this moment of my life, I was the happiest I could ever be. I had the job of my dreams in a beautiful country, and I met the most beautiful woman I could ever ask for. Aisha and I got married that year in Thailand, and I enjoyed the unique customs of the Muslims of Thailand. And I was excited to have Aisha and I go back to my hometown in Algeria for a big Arab wedding, Algerian style. So we did just that, and my family received Aisha with open arms as well. By the time we made it to Algeria, Aisha was able to speak pretty fluent Arabic, so much so that she was able to have conversations with my parents and family, and that meant the world to me. I thank God that Aisha came into my life, and we crossed paths. Life is amazing, isn't it? It's crazy where life will take you sometimes. It brings a smile to my face to hear about success stories in Thailand, especially from an atypical story like that of our brother Nuradin. May God bless your marriage, my brother. And my hope is to any of you out there looking for love, no matter your age, race, religion, or creed, I hope this story serves as inspiration that anything is possible with the right plan, determination, and will. I hope you guys use this true story and others like it as a resource on the do's and don'ts when dating, visiting, or traveling in Southeast Asia. Stay tuned for the next true story on Southeast Asia Stories. My name is Roberto, and I'm the man behind the voice, and I'm glad to have you here. Please like, subscribe, and comment. See you on the next one.